Hello, welcome back to my channel. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of videos this week because I've been at home with a sick child, so I've banished him to a different room while I make stuff. Anyway, look, I want to share a project with you. I got one of these Traveler's Notebook limited edition B-sides and Rarities sticker release books, and I got it in the passport size, and I hadn't actually used it until I went away to Sydney, and then I put a whole bunch of fussy cut PET, washi stickers, washi dots, all sorts of things. I'll do a little flip through in there, and took it away with me, and I absolutely loved it. It was so handy. It just meant that I didn't have to spend a lot of time cutting things out. I didn't have to take masses of supplies with me, and it was really handy just to grab some stickers to decorate my travel pages with. So the minute I got back, I went on the hunt for one in the regular size. Unfortunately, I can't find one anywhere. They appear to be all sold out. I might tell a lie there. I think I found one overseas in a shop, and it was like 31 euros or something. Anyway, I got busy and I made my own. Yeah. So what I noticed was that the Traveler's Notebook version has this very interesting paper in it. I've seen some people use like that stuff you use for baking paper. That would be it, wouldn't it? And I've used that to cut out washi tapes before, but they don't really stick. Whereas with this particular type of paper, all the different mediums, PET, this is a vinyl sticker from my new collection, washi dots, even not very sticky washi tapes stick really well to this type of paper. So after a lot of research, I found out that it's a silicone coated paper. Now the one that I managed to track down is white, whereas the Traveler's company is cream. So it's a silicone release paper. Here's my packet. Unfortunately, it wasn't packaged very well, and the mailman also kind of scrunched it into my mailbox. It doesn't really matter. I put it under some heavy books, and I noticed that the one that I've been using, the little passport size, the pages kind of go like that anyway, where you kind of like you have to manipulate them to peel the sticker off. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. So it's actually not that different, and I think it ends up looking like that with use anyway. So the other type of this silicone release paper, I also found it listed as like diamond dot stickers or something like this, diamond dot sticker release or diamond dot paper, but I will do my best to put some links below. And I'm just pointing out there that I put in 4 sheets, which gives you 16 pages, which I think is enough in that regular size. You can get a lot on there. So I'm using a Traveler's Company insert here to take my measurements from, so I'm going to make one with you today. And in theirs they have an end paper as well, and so in the one that I've made I put an end paper so that your stickers aren't rubbing against the cover. So I've just used some fancy parchment paper or something, which I have had for years. Like I think I printed out the cover page for my thesis on it or something, which is it's in the library at the University of Queensland. Anyway, so what I'm noting here is that the inside pages, so the very internal one, is smaller than the outside pages. So each page is sort of slightly smaller. So I'm just doing the measurements here. So the inner page here is 21.5 centimeters. Sorry, yes, 21.5 centimeters, or 8.5 inches wide. I'll also put these in the description box. And then the height of the notebook is 21 centimeters high, which is actually the standard width of an A4 piece of paper, which is, I got A4 sheets of the silicone paper and that parchment paper to make the ends. That's A4 as well, and I have a piece of craft cardboard to make the cover, which is also A4. So here I'm showing you the difference in the measurement between the cover. So you can see here that the outside of the cover, so even though it looks the same, is actually 22.5 centimeters wide. So that's a whole centimeter, sorry, 22.2 centimeters wide, which is actually not a whole centimeter. It's 0.7 of a centimeter, 7 millimeters. And I'll come back to the inches measurement in a minute. And then the height of it though is still the same, the 21 centimeters, which makes it much easier for cutting. But I'll come to that. That is 8.25 inches. So I'm just coming back to do the measurement for the cover. So that is 8.75 of an inch. Yep, but I will include all the measurements in the description box. So don't panic if you're scrabbling around for some pen and paper right now. But of course, if you've got your own inserts, you can double check the measurements yourself if you would prefer. So I'm just writing down here that these are the measurements for the narrowest inner page, and so what I'm trying to show here is that when the book lies flat, that the pages actually sit on an angle. So they're each page is actually cut just slightly, like as you go into the middle, each page is just slightly smaller. But of course you can trim it at the end as well. Yeah, so the pages don't stand upright like a book. Yeah, that's my little diagram. So in the meantime, I went off and I had a bit of an accident. So I was doing my cutting. I really don't recommend that you just please be careful. I was cutting my pages, and my guillotine was a bit dirty. It had some sort of sticky residue on it, and so I got the isopropyl alcohol and I was cleaning it, and then I cut my finger on it, and my goodness, did it hurt. It was very, very ouchy because it was all like 100% alcohol, and then my guillotine's very sharp. Yeah, so there was a slight problem, and all my pages dropped, and I thought I had them the right way round. But there's no evidence of my horrific mutilation. So that's alright. So just excuse the band-aid. Yeah. So you could see here that for all my beautiful measuring and writing down all the measurements, etc, 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 I actually folded the wrong, I just got them all mucked up, so it's all kind of a bit skew with. At least you saw the one that I made earlier, which looked a bit better. Yeah. So anyway, on to the next part. So I've folded all the pages, and I've laid them up, and I've folded the cover, and that silicone paper, it's quite slippery because it's obviously non-stick, even though the stickers stick to it, but it doesn't really stick to itself, so it kind of slides around a bit. So here I am just getting some binder clips or bulldog clips and putting the whole thing together, and it's a little awkward with my dodgy finger here, and it's quite painful. So I'm trying very carefully not to move it around too much. Yeah, so we can see here that, look, my alignment's pretty shoddy. I tell you what, I'm glad I didn't film when I was doing my guillotine. Yeah, there was a bit of screeching and carrying on. Oh, yes, all in the name of craft. So here I'm just folding down the clips to make it as flat as possible. And look, you might have a fancy binding stapler, which is a long stapler that will allow you to get into the spine of the booklet. However, I don't, and I didn't really want to go and buy one because the whole point of making the booklet myself was not to spend exorbitant amounts of money on shipping something from overseas that's obviously been heavily marked up. So here I am just marking the measurements of the staples. Now, more sharp tools. Woohoo! What else could go wrong? So here, now, shh, don't, just keep this to yourself. This is my husband's mouse pad from his desk that I've stolen because I've discovered it is the perfect thing to plunge pins into. Shh. He doesn't need to know. There's no evidence after I'm finished. So I'm just getting a couple of staples off the collection of staples and pulling them apart. More opportunities for injuries. Try not to get them up under your fingernail. That hurts too. Yeah. He's crafting. You've got to be tough, I tell you. So here I'm just getting my trusty pin, which I keep on my desk, normally to clear my glue bottle, but also for things like this. And some very loud noises coming from outside. So here I am just poking some holes in with this nice padded mat underneath. Yeah, super handy. And now I'm just placing the staples into the holes that I have made with my pin. Also, that can be a little bit fiddly, so you just need to try and keep the staples as straight as possible before you push them in, so they go through nicely. And then, yep, just make sure that they've gone through and flip the whole lot over. And once again, being careful, more opportunities for injury here. Try and use something to bend the staples over. I've tried to make them as straight as possible and as flat as possible to help the book fold nicely. This is a tool, it's like my pokey tool for my die cutting thing. So yeah, but thousands of uses. So now that I've secured it all with those 2 staples, I'm removing the clips and folding it all together, and just smoothing the folds with my paper folder there. Trying to avoid injury once more. Oh dear. And so you can see, yeah, it's all a bit wonky because of the difficult times that I encountered. But no worry. I'm just going to go back to the guillotine and taking my own life into my hands here and trim it up. Hopefully, yes, with no further injuries to my person. So here I am. I trimmed a little bit off the top and a little bit off the bottom and nothing off my fingers. And even though it's not as good as the first one I made, I'm still pretty happy with it, and it's lining up here nicely with that Traveller's Notebook insert, and yeah, we're good to go. So now, of course, with the blank cover and the inside page, you could decorate it or put a title on it. If you wanted to make multiple ones, you could theme them. Yeah. Anyway, let me know if you make one. I'd love to see. You don't need that many tools. The main thing is that special paper. You just need a ruler and a folder and a pencil and a pokey thing or a pin, and someone on standby with a band-aid. You could use a craft knife to slice the papers rather than a guillotine. Just be careful. Yeah, so the main thing is that paper, which I will try to link, and I will put those measurements in as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.